Okay, this is the general election element 3 about voter behavior. And as you can obviously see in this slide here, voting is important for everybody. There are 6 major factors that can have a pretty significant impact on whether or not people vote, and if they do, how they vote. Education is the first one. Typically, people with higher than average educational levels have a higher rate of voting than do people with less education. And it also can impact who they vote for. If you take a look at this list of the best educated states, you're going to see here that the ones with over 25% of their people with a college degree tend to vote very Democratic. In the states on the right, where over 25% of the people have a college degree, if those numbers fall short of that, the quote-unquote worst educated states, they typically do not vote Democrat. Age is also a deciding factor. Older people are far more likely to vote than younger people are. Younger citizens, are less likely to be registered, but even just analyzing turnout patterns among registered voters yields wide differences by age. And who do they tend to vote for? Well, young people, when they do vote, at least in recent years, tend to vote pretty heavily Democratic. Race and gender are also very significant factors. Racial minorities are usually underrepresented among voters, which is still clearly evident in recent elections as the turnout for Hispanics, Asian Americans, and Native Americans is significantly low, despite the fact that we were electing an African American president as recently as 2008 and 2012. Also, gender tends to play a role in this as well. In an earlier period in history, many women were discouraged from voting, but today, women actually participate in elections at a slightly higher rate than men do. And marital status can also be a determining factor. People who are married are more likely to vote than those who are not. And this is typically with families that they have. There are a lot of tax issues and policies that could come into play regarding the care of their children and the care of their household. And finally, one big determining factor can be employment in a government position. Having something at stake, such as their jobs and the future of their programs they work on, and being in a position to know more about government impels government workers to really vote at high levels of participation. If they want to keep their job that they currently have under the current president and his current policies, then they're going to vote. Okay, that's it. Shortest video I've had ever. Thanks for listening.